Hey, just want to let you guys know that this is an extended segment I have on this one video that is a proper send-off to the Switch 2. I will leave a link to that video in the description, and you can see everyone else's thoughts on the Switch and what they had to say. This is just what I had to say, a little bit extended for people who wanted to hear more about what I had to say. So without further ado, I give you my fuller experience with
Super Mario Odyssey!
So this game pisses me off in the most unconventional way possible. Why is it that when I want to do anything fun in this game, it's not mapped to a button at all? The game just prefers that I fake Tourette's. Super Mario Odyssey is a game that I've beaten and mastered from front to back, inside and out.
Who the fuck is this?
It is one of my all-time favorite Nintendo Switch games. But why is that? What makes me think that emotionally compelling Mario games about the wonders of space and childhood are inferior to paying Nintendo for some plastic that lets me have early access to trans rights? Well, in order to look at why this game is better than the others, we first have to look at what makes the other games, well, worse. What the fuck else am I gonna say?
You, then your pride and your ego.
When going through Mario Odyssey again, I noticed a very distinct part about it that separates it from the games that came before it. With most 3D Mario games, it's always about the destination, never really about the journey. You know, bing bang, wahoo, grab the star, throw Bowser into a bomb, and call him a problematic slur. This formula has been consistent with all of the games. However, I would argue that out of the main three, Mario 64 has this nailed down to a T. The game is very open when it comes to how you want to approach collecting said stars. The game basically says, yeah, all you gotta pretty much do is save Private Ryan, then you can go wherever the hell you want. I could go here, there, over there, maybe up there if I have enough swag. It's not even the worlds themselves that are limited to how many stars you have. When you play this game enough times, you find which stars are faster to grab or more optimal, which ones you just prefer. You have you'll play favorites every now and again. I like the one over in Hazy Maze Cave that takes like a hop, skip, and a jump, as opposed to actually fighting the boss. I could clear out enough stars to get to the upper basement before ever touching Dire Docks. It's a game that has many paths to take when traveling to that final destination. I should know. I dump about 3 hours of my life into this game every week like I have a quota to reach. When looking to how Galaxy does it, it's a lot more hand-holdy. If Mario 64 was like a cool mom, then Mario Galaxy is a helicopter parent. Oh, no, you can't get that star yet. You must first unlock this star on this planet over here, where you gotta beat up a dinosaur that's the last of its kind. But you can only do that if the planets are perfectly aligned with this piss rock. But that piss rock only affects this planet. You gotta wait for a completely different piss rock of that same color if you want this star on this planet. And then, and only then, can you go fight Bowser's grandma. That being said, I can't help but shake the feeling that Mario 64's levels are bland? And not the themes, but the worlds themselves. I know it's a hardware limitation, but Mario 64 levels feel like a terrarium. There are various obstacles and landmarks that I can jump around with buttery smoothness. But I can't view these worlds as worlds, but more like exhibits.
Mommy, what's that red one doing jumping in the lava?
Don't stare, honey. He just really doesn't want to use the intended and simple platforming. So, we have a 3D Mario game with open level structure that feels closed off from society, and one with a world that feels connected to this adventure, but keeps me on a straight line. So then ideally, the perfect 3D Mario game would have non-linear level design, and feel like a thriving society that I could be a part of and live in and pay my taxes to. Fuck. Look, I don't have anything to say about Sunshine. I'm sure it's a fine game, but it's not the kind of 3D Mario I vibe with. It has its fans, and I am clearly not one of them.
How dare you disturb my family vacation?
Anyway, this video is about Odyssey, right? Yeah, let's go back to that. If the other Mario games focus on the destination, then Mario Odyssey is a game that's all about the journey. I mean, damn it, it's in the name. It's based off the fucking book. It creates these giant landscapes that are jam-packed with moons to collect. Long gone are the days that these levels have a set amount of things to collect. This one waterfall level full of one dinosaur could have a little over 30 moons, but alternatively, we can have enough of these suckers to get some pilgrims through the winter in the middle of New York. Then we'll put like 9 in the boss arena, sure. With all this extra padding, it's very odd that out of all of these moons, I only need like 10 to move to the next pit stop, and a good percentage of those moons come from story moons. The worth of your kingdom is based on how good of a boss fight you have. And if I have to be honest with you, you're passing with a 2.5 grade point average. That then leaves the question of what the fuck are these other moons for? They're simply for world building. You'd be surprised how much that matters. To go back to Mario 64 for a minute, whenever I play it, I'm not taking the time to hear what the specific Bob-omb has to say about how he was laid off from work last week and is now working under the United Nations to make ends meet. I'm very much more concerned about the fat ass upstairs keeping me from getting to Womp's Fortress. Now, looking back at Odyssey, I will gladly take the time to sit on this bench to hear about this man's struggle with feeling small, in such a big city, in such a big part of the world. I would give him everything I have to make him happy. Me and that man on the bench have been married for 25 beautiful years. And the thing that separates these two meaningless tasks that take the time out of your day to just read what someone has to say is that Odyssey rewards you for it. The game highlights all the little details about each and every world on such a grand scale. It says, look, see that hole in the wall over there? Go check it out and find a bunch of silly skeleton dudes and rock the fuck out, and we'll give you a shiny little moon. All these moons aren't necessarily like challenging like any other games where you roll a ball around with controls that are constantly fighting you. But these moons aren't trying to be. They're more meant to make this world feel more alive. I don't see someone living in Cool Mountain, despite the clear presence of a thriving nuclear family of penguins. This feels more like a rural outpost I would find in a horror game, as opposed to a cabin full of hugs and kisses and grandma's blankets and cookies. Alternatively, I love every detail of Lake Kingdom. It's not anywhere near the biggest kingdom in the game, but it still makes great use of what little space it has. The patterns on the rock that look like ruffles of a dress, the lost Atlantis vibe that's apparent in every corner, like a forgotten city that's been repurposed for a new generation. The small little details that tell so much about the world and its inhabitants. Even this lady of the minimum wage lake gives more world building and more meaning than the entirety of Tiny Huge Island. Fuck this level, by the way. I hate this so much. And that's just looking at these worlds at a surface level. Upon looking deeper in these levels, I've made a realization. These aren't just levels. They're a celebration of Mario's history. Everyone pretty much knows that New Donk City was a callback to Mario's past with Donkey Kong and shit, but I don't think people understand how much is being used here, okay? There are street signs on every corner referencing Donkey Kong's other pals and foes. You can find, like, Pauline's old collectibles post-game that I could go on. Although I can't, because I cannot remember what else is in this kingdom. And brother, don't get me started on all the costumes. They will pull just about anything Mario's ever worn out his ass and shove it into this wardrobe. They had to go back in time and shed Mario's skin to make this possible. Are you proud of yourself whenever you hide it with the invisible cap, you sicko? Even the costumes that, like, don't reference anything still scream with the personality of 1,000 starving artists. Did you know Bowser's afraid of clowns?
Hola, soy un payacho. Hola, soy un putazo.
Whether subtle or obvious, these themes and other little details are reflections of the history of Mario, all packaged into a grand adventure across this world we've grown to know and to love. And if that's the case, what the fuck does this dragon represent? Why is he here? Is he, like, supposed to be a reference to that time Charles voiced a dragon from Skyrim? I would hope so, because that's funny as shit. But the worst part about all of this world building outside the Mushroom Kingdom, carefully looking into what makes each world distinct and special, is that we'll probably never get a game like this ever again, which is honestly a shame, because this game was so big. It was everywhere. It was in New York. You could see it in Mario in, like, real life. He was on Serial. Jumpman Mario, took it upon himself to personally tour America just to tell people about his new adventure. And that didn't earn Cappy any respect. This game's legacy lives and dies with Pauline, and I don't know how to feel about this dumbass flower showing up in Mario Party before the GOAT of all Mario companions. This man was everything. He was the number one. He was awesome. I miss you. I hate just seeing you in GameStop. Come back to a game.
And I hear you say, "Oh, kid, now you stupid motherfucker. They don't ever follow up a 3D Mario game directly. Maybe they didn't have enough source material to expand upon Cappy's story."
First of all, when I lie. And secondly, there is an entire book dedicated to the creation of Odyssey, and it's all scrap contents. If you had any idea how much they cut from this game, you'd be begging for a sequel as much as I am.
It's quite the massive thing. It just goes to show how much they had planned for it. So we're gonna open it up and see all the cool stuff they had inside. I love these kinds of things. I think there's a Zelda one for Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild out there. I'd love to get my hands on it one of these days. Oh, there's a little plastic cover that comes off, and there's still plastic on the back. Oh, look at it, it's all pristine and shit. You probably can't tell because my camera is shit. But seeing this in person, though, it definitely, like, it beats every picture I've ever seen online of this thing. This is beautiful. The back looks really nice. I love all the little details and everything. You can see little Pauline sketches and Mario sketches. I want to take a second and look at all this. All the shape language and shit. Oh, I love this game too damn much. I love it. I love all the personality that shows here. Showing on a camera does not do this shit justice. Oh my gosh. Don't think I've ever seen this one. I'm going to show this one. Look at that. Who knows what they're staring over? That could be like Bespin or Ruined Kingdom. Lifting this book is quite the hassle. There's so much weight to it. Like, you could knock out an intruder in your house with this. It's so weird seeing them in such pristine quality. Like, I just have this now. Look, it's Luigi. It's Luigi.
I play Balloon World because they didn't include me in a 3D platformer for the 3rd time. I'm getting sick of this shit.
That's where they got this. I've seen this. I've seen this 2D art of Mario with the wedding bouquet in like so many remixes. I love all this little 2D art so much. I want to get the hang of the art style with the simple colors and all that. There's a storyboard of the opening cutscene. Look at him. Like, it's so cool. There's a Mario model study, which is going to be something that will be very helpful for drawing panel art for my little project. I'm keeping that in the works. Look at all these poses. Ooh. Ooh, this is like some beta artwork of Cappy right here. Look at that. That one right there. Oh, he looks so naked. Why does he look naked? Oh, she's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Love these artworks. Oh, I got a reference. I gotta try and redraw this one right here. Perfect design. Perfect woman. I like the concept art, but I like the final one we got. It's a lot more poofy in character with the kind of dresses she wears. It is so hard to lift this thing. I like the way they draw Bowser. Little puffs of hair on top and shit. Very sly little devil. I love the concept art going on here. Love the use of colors, the sketch marks. Dude, I would love to work for Nintendo and see all the shit they come up with. Not for, like, making games or anything, but just to be a part of the design team. I like this concept art. It's very... The tower right here, it's very Tim Burton. I think that's what they were going for. I like it. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Star Wars 100 Scenes with all the little notes. I would just spend hours reading books like that. Just looking at all the little notes and shit and, like, details about characters. Just study up on the lore. I love the ideas for towns outside of just the main bonnet town. Looks like London and shit. Got little cap hats, little houses made of hats, little castle, little people. Yeah, again, very Nightmare Before Christmas type town. Ah, here he is. Here's the man of the hour. I miss him every day. He's beautiful. Might be some concept art for him coming up. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, he went through a lot of changes. Oh, just let it all sink in. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna leave this up. The camera quality doesn't do it any justice. I wanted to make him a bird. Here's some more concept art. That red does not look good on him. That looks like an evil Cappy. Love the art going on here. Oh, they give him facial expressions and shit? Oh, I gotta look at that later. Oh, and like the eyes. Like they test in the waters. Oh, dude, it's too much. I can't. I love the way it works. I love the little movements. I love how I can understand it all and study it. There's some tiara concept art, very Paper Mario-esque, I would say. Oh, who's this little Sprixie girl? Who's that? She's cute. She's real cute. Oh, the Brutals. We're getting into the Brutals now. The Brutals went through so much concept art. So much was lost. Dude, they could not decide what they wanted for these motherfuckers. Oh, they had plans for it to be like a Yoshi forest? Okay. I see the vision. I see the vision. It looks like Yoshi, and this one looks more like a Mesopotamian. I like this little skull thing this Chain Chomp's wearing. I hate these guys, though. These guys looks like they weren't thought out very well. Apparently there's an entire section of Madame Broods to her bloomers. Just thought I'd point that out. And there's the Odyssey. Oh, what I'd give to have this back. This looks so well designed. It's like a staple in the industry now. If they made like an Odyssey playset, I'd buy that shit immediately just to have a little Odyssey. Oh, here's some design ideas. They wanted to go on land and be a boat. And then there's like this thing that looks like it came out of the fucking, what's it called? Renaissance? So many ideas here that I just gotta sit in and take in.
I could honestly just gush your ears off on how spectacular this game is, but I don't really have to. When you take the time to sit down and embrace this game for what it has to offer, it speaks for itself. But what does Redbooy think? What are his 2 cents?
Oh, I absolutely love the capture in this game, John. They're so much fun to control. I love all of them so much. I could gush about the gushing all day.
You get the fuck out!
When the Switch 2 comes out with a brand new Mario game, I'm sure it'll take notes from the masterclass work of Mario Odyssey. They'd be really stupid not to. It's the greatest we've seen from 3D Mario in the past decade, and I don't mind waiting a bit longer to feel the joys of discovering what else Mario has to offer all over again. I'm sure even the new Donkey Kong that's been in the work for like 4 years by the same team will have that same respect for its character's legacy that Odyssey did. You know, I think I'll go watch the newest entry of Croc Watch and see what they've been up to. Hold on. The plot's inspired by Sun Wukong? What?
Don't stop Don't stop, weary luck now. Don't stop, there's so much to be found. We can't find